On the first day of my car trip to 46 prefectures, I stayed at the Hotel Tobu Levant Tokyo to have dinner while looking at the Tokyo Skytree. And while looking at the Tokyo Skytree from the window, I congratulated my wife, who has shared my hardships with me at the company for many years.
Second day after checking out of the hotel, I headed south and drove around Onishima in Kanagawa Prefecture, seeing the famous Matsushita School of Government and Economics, where Japanese politicians and businessmen study, and visiting Odawara Castle Ruins Park, which I once visited on an elementary school excursion. After a tour, I checked into Hotel B&B Pension Hakone. Third day after checking out of the hotel and driving around Hakone, I entered Yamanashi Prefecture, took a break at roadside station Subashiri, and went to Lake Yamanaka, roadside station Fujiyoshida, and Lake Kawaguchi. After that, I drove in the direction of Nirasaki, and since I had a lot of time to check in at the guest house, I wandered around Akasakadai General Park. I went to Hida's village to kill time. When I called before checking in at the guest house, I was told that they could not serve dinner and asked me to buy a bento. I had made a reservation for dinner, but it was disappointing. The reason will become clear overnight. We slept on the second floor of the guest house. In the middle of the night, young people from the neighborhood gathered on the first floor, and the owner couple and a big party started, and it was so noisy that I couldn't sleep. In this case, I thought I should have booked a hotel. It has become the worst sleep-deprived trip on the third day. Fourth day after checking out of the guest house, I went to Suwa City Hall and rented a toilet. After that, go to roadside station Banshu, Nagano Prefecture. Take a break at roadside station Shinshu Sutagi Shuku, enter Hokuto City, go to the main gate of the former Kaichi School, see Tokushima Castle and Matsumoto Castle, and then go to the roadside station. After taking a break at Kosakata Park, I had lunch at the handmade soba restaurant Isa. It was very delicious. I didn't get enough sleep, so I checked into the Matsumoto Welton Hotel early. Fifth day after checking out of the hotel and looking at Lake Suwa, taking a break at Suwa Taisha, roadside station Kosakata Park, and roadside station Shinshu Sutagi Shuku, I visited Kamikyu, a monstrous religion that became famous for Om Shinrikyo. I went to Ashiki village. After that, go through the Shojin Blue Line, enter Lake Shoji, Lake Motosu, Shizuoka Prefecture, Shiraito Falls, roadside station Asagiri Park, visit the grave of the family temple where my grandmother and father sleep, check in at Fujikyu Hotel, and have dinner. Ate Fujinomiya Yakisoba and visited Sengen Shrine. Sixth day I checked out of the hotel and ran towards Shizuoka City. To tell the truth, I went to say hello to a customer who ran a company and was very indebted to me in the early days of the company's founding. With the intention of surprising me, I took out my health insurance card and met with the director for an examination. That should be it. It was around 1991 when I was taken care of, and it was 2012 when I went there. I took care of him 21 years ago, and since the company was dissolved, I went to say hello. At the time, he was a doctor working at a local cancer center, but he had many fans. And the internal medicine clinic was so busy that there were no seats in the waiting room. I was happy just because the director was happy. After that, he drove in the direction of Kikugawa City. After taking a break at the Tani Inaba Yugasu parking area and roadside station at Sonoya Toge, I went through Nagoya City in Aichi Prefecture to check in at the Hotel Sun Route Gifu Prefectural Office South. After that, I planned to go north, but when I saw the weather forecast, it was snowing. So I changed my plan and decided to go west. That day my car only had normal tires. After seeing the weather forecast last night, I had to revise my original itinerary plan and decided to head west. After checking out of the hotel, I visited Hikwan Castle in Shiga Prefecture. Among Yoruchara, there is a famous character called Hiko Nian. And I could not help but feel that Hikwan Castle became famous because of the popularity of the Yoruchara. As expected, it was a wonderful castle that was repaired and built as it was in the era. After that, I visited Genku Raku Rakuen, took a rest at roadside station Ito Margaret, roadside station Inoyama, and roadside station Sakijuku in Mie Prefecture, and checked into Hotel Castle in Tsu. 8th day after checking out of the hotel, I wanted to visit the Ai's Grand Shrine, which was one of the two main events of this trip. When I was running a company, I didn't have the heart or the time to go on trips. Ai's Jingu is a shrine that I wanted to visit at least once in my life. It is a shrine that represents Japan. In front of the gate of Ai's Jingu, I visited Ai's Jingu and had a meal at Ai's Udon, Nakaya. I ate Ai's Udon for the first time, and I thought this was the most delicious udon I've ever eaten. Because it was soft and easy to digest so that even if you don't have teeth, you can eat it. There is even a theory that the time when this udon was developed started with the provision of udon that was easy on the stomach and easy to digest. Since people who came to visit Ai's shrine came from all over Japan on foot. Then we stopped by Akafuku, which is famous for both good and evil, and bought some for ourselves and ate it on the train. It tasted the same as the Akafuku I had received as a gift, so I wasn't overly impressed, but I was impressed by the briskness of the female staff working there. After that, I checked into the Nara, Washington Hotel in Nara Prefecture and took a walk around the city in the evening. It got dark, so I decided to go to Kasuga Shrine, a World Heritage Site, tomorrow. The day before I got up early in the morning and checked out of the hotel, my wife and I went on foot to Kasuga Taisha Shrine, a World Heritage Site, to worship. Naoya Shiga is a popular writer who is famous in Japan for his philosophical affirmation of human beings, and is also known as the god of novels. His representative works include At Kinosaki, A Dark Knight's Passage, Reconciliation, and Kozu no Kamisama. We visited the Heritage Horyuji Temple, passed through Osaka Prefecture, visited the prefectural office of Wakayama Prefecture, Wakayama Castle, and returned to Osaka Prefecture again, checked into Hotel NBC, and had dinner at Okonomiyaki Musashi. After I returned to my room, my physical condition had deteriorated. It seems that the cause was that I was tired from driving a car on a long trip and was using my nerves. I went to bed early. The next day I stayed at Hotel NBC consecutively due to poor physical condition. Having lunch at the Osaka City Hall, the mayor at the time was Toru Hashimoto, a lawyer who was popular on TV. We ordinary people thought so because we were just watching reports about him on TV, but I don't know what the Osaka citizens actually thought. Since I went to Osaka, I decided to have lunch at the City Hall where he was. Very reasonably priced but very tasty. Have dinner at the Japanese restaurant in the Hotel NBC. Stroll around Osaka City. Day 11, enter Hyogo Prefecture and visit Himeji Castle. The three reasons why Himeji Castle is registered as a World Heritage Site are that its beauty as a castle, such as its white walls and decorations, is by far the highest peak among Japanese architecture, and it is a masterpiece of Japanese wooden construction. Another reason is that the castle tower, stone walls, moats, etc. are well preserved as they were in the Edo period. This is because my greatest hobby is to observe historical buildings that have been carefully repaired and preserved as they were in the era in which they were built. The house I live in is also a Japanese-style house that was built in 1934. When I moved to Awaji Island, I couldn't stand using the toilet, so I rented one at the Awaji police station. After taking a break at Higashiura Terminal Park, I entered Tokushima Prefecture and checked in at Hotel Toyoko in Meishinguchi, and had dinner at Tokushima Ramen. The main branch of Todai, it was greasy but delicious.
Day 12. Take a break at the roadside station Sadamitsu-Yuken. This area seems to be famous for hand-stretched somen noodles, so I took the appearance of the shop. It is an area rich in nature and drives through mountainous areas. Take a break at the roadside station Tosa Samura. Enter Kochi Prefecture and take a break at the roadside station Kiko. During the season, cherry blossoms in full bloom were in full bloom along the road. I ate lunch with handmade udon noodles. It was very tasty and cheap. When I entered Ehime Prefecture, there were streetcars running in the city, and I had never lived in a city where streetcars ran, so it was difficult to drive. I checked into Hotel Toyoko in Matsuyama Ichibanko and toured Matsuyama Castle. Day 13. I checked out of the hotel and saw the Ehime Prefectural Office and Matsuyama City Hall and headed to the roadside station Toyohama in Kanagawa Prefecture. I had fallen ill in Osaka, but I hadn't gotten back to my true condition yet, so when I was running with the idea of making udon noodles that were gentle on my stomach for lunch, I came across a self-serving udon kettle. It was very delicious. After that, I wanted to take a break from eating, so I went to Seto Ohashi Park and took a walk. After that, we visited the Takamatsu Castle ruins and went to Takamatsu Hyogo Town. Day 14. After checking out of the hotel, I took the Shikoku ferry to Uno in Okayama Prefecture to head from Shikoku to Honshu. After that, we went to Baizen, which is famous for its pottery. I also had a hobby of pottery, so I really wanted to go there. When I went there, it was deserted. There were few shops open, and I bought a mug to use with my wife as a souvenir at one of them. We went to Karakuen Garden in Okayama City and visited Okayama Castle. My hobby was to look at carefully preserved buildings as they were when they were erected, even though they had deteriorated over time. But Okayama Castle was a modern-day building and looked like a plastic model. Others were shouting, "It looks like a toy." I took a walk near the west exit of JR Okayama Station.
Thank you very much for reading this far. I hope that people around the world will understand Japan, and I hope that you will come to travel to Japan, where we live. Continue to part 2 after this.